Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sixth session of Star Trek Kongo. If this is your first time here, hello, greetings. Hopefully you have a good time. This is a actual play podcast using the Star Trek Adventures rule system by Modifius Entertainment. We're set in the year 2415 aboard a Trident class as part of an extended universe known as Babylon Fleet that is set in the same time and setting. Now, don't stress if you haven't watched my previous games or if you missed last session or if you have to leave early. The VODs are available on all the popular solutions like YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, etc., etc. And you don't really need to have watched anything, not even last week, to enjoy today's session, but you'll probably get some greater context if you do. Don't really have much in the way of announcements except for stream stuff. If any of you are interested in a Pokemon tabletop role-playing experience, that is going to happen tomorrow evening at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. I will be joined by Yuma Yamano, the one and only, and it should be a fairly fun time. She's been looking forward to this pretty much for 2 weeks, and hopefully I can deliver. Definitely would enjoy seeing you all turn out for that. Also want to thank Jewish Aurorian for the gift subs and Watney for the hydrate at the top of the session. But with that all said, let's go around and have the players introduce themselves, starting with the captain.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew. I play Captain Lee Tobin, intensely religious Bajoran.
Yes, my name's John. I play Jaro Terrell, Ensign Jaro Terrell, the chief engineer of the Congo.
Hey guys, I'm Aaron. I am playing Lieutenant Commander Datig, the first officer / science officer combo for the Congo, a natural contrarian and a Tellarite. So maybe I didn't need to say that second one.
Redundant.
Yeah, it's a redundancy.
Just like that tag.
Wow. Starting already.
I'm Watney. I'm playing the chief medical officer of the Congo, Dr. Alel, the Denobulan.
And I'm Dag, the resident ex-Borg / Augment. I am the Chief of Security, Lieutenant Fives. And if you want to talk about it, hit me up at Trek Nexus on Twitter.
And if you don't know me by now, I'm ELH the Game Master. And today's opening log, I believe, is coming from Alel. So Alel, go ahead and take it away.
Sure. So just to paint the picture, Alel is in the elevator where we left off with the rest of the group. She's kind of like leaning on Datig. She clears her throat. Still quite injured. Chief Medical Officer's log supplemental. The away party's mission has been compromised as we attempted to explore some kind of booby-trapped ship crawling with arachnophobes and giant reptiles. Once we crossed the docking bay's threshold into the ship, we discovered large claw marks oozing.
Doctor.
Yes.
I appreciate your devotion to protocol, but the triox compound that I gave you begins to lose efficiency when you consume too much of the atmosphere, and if you talk too much, then it won't work. So maybe wait until we're back on the ship.
I guess this is what the captain meant by time and place. Sorry.
No, don't apologize. Just save your strength.
Well, since I found that funny, you may have momentum. So greater context. Basically, the players went aboard a seemingly space derelict to investigate not only the mysterious signal it was sending out, but also just because that's what Star Trek people do. They see a derelict in space and go, yeah, we should just go check it out because it's there. Not, oh, we should leave it alone because there's no good reason why this ship should be abandoned. Anyways, they went aboard. They pretty much found that there were lots of, shall we say, signs that the ship was not in good repair. Claw marks in the very thick duranium walls, bits of biomimetic-like gel oozing from wounds in the walls, no bodies, no signs of a firefight, but in general, the ship seemed abandoned until a grotesque creature that is almost beyond description basically came up behind them and smashed their shuttle to bits. Which means their only hope of getting out of this ship is either finding another shuttle, figuring out a way to repair Dr. Alel's suit that was injured during an attack from some of the local wildlife, or otherwise getting their transporter enhancers to work. So they're kind of in a bind right now. And we are going to join them as they ascend the elevator shaft towards the second floor. And because all good shows should start off with a roll, I need everyone to roll me a fitness and a security, or a fitness and a con, please. And if you have anything related to survival, if you have anything related to anti-gravity, all of these things would apply.
A fitness what?
Fitness con or fitness security, either one.
What about escape and avoidance?
You're not avoiding anything here, unfortunately.
Okay, I gotcha.
This
I
is
don't
just
think I
you
had
literally.
anything then.
Yeah, this is just you literally walking up the side of the elevator shaft. All right, so the difficulty was only 1, so it looks like Dotig is fine, Alel is fine, Jaro is fine, and then I think we're just missing... There we go. All right, so what I'm going to say is that if you want to spend the momentum you would have gotten to get Prin, Prin will not suffer an injury when he falls on his ass, because he rolled no successes there.
Sure, we'll spend it
So
to
what?
lose
I'm
it.
fine. Yeah, I'm fine with spending it to take Prin.
All right.
We're gonna need him.
I wasn't going to say anything. It's not like it's my place to determine that, but I'd like not to die. That'd be nice.
Yeah. So, as you all sort of do that vertigo ascension up the side of the elevator shaft, your boots clanging and thunking and sticking to the sides of the shaft, you eventually get to the second floor, where your progress upward is stopped by what looks to be a broken conduit of some sort that has pierced the elevator shaft and has stopped you from ascending to the third deck. The other thing that you're noticing is that the doors that go out onto deck 2, quote unquote, they are half open at the moment. They almost look as if somebody took a sword and did a diagonal slash across them. So instead of like 2 double doors, there's like half of a triangle and then a little bit of another triangle, but the bottom part of the triangle or the door is missing. And when you sort of peek out and look either way down the hallway, you're just seeing more flickering lights, more signs of battle damage, more signs of, shall we say, the prisoner has escaped line you received last session. You're seeing more signs of that.
I got this.
All right, Fives, I want you to take point.
Yes, sir. And Fives will cautiously lean out and look down on the aisles both ways.
And yeah, what you see is to your left, the corridor goes quite a long distance. There's 2 doors on opposite sides of each other on the corridor, right before the passageway angles off to the left, deeper into the ship. To your right, you also have another set of 2 doors across from one another. And then you have a door at the end of an intersection that this time the corridor veers to the right yet again, so almost back the way you came. And you don't see anything moving, I think is the key distinction here. You're not seeing anything that would be a security concern.
It looks okay, but keep your ears open.
Very
Which
good.
way? The map didn't show this level.
We should probably find an engineering alcove or maybe a sensor bay.
Ensign Jaro, can you perform a local scan? See if you can find anything?
Right away. Jaro will pull out his tricorder and scan for any sort of engineering ports or interface.
Go ahead and roll me a Reason Engineering, difficulty of 2 here.
Starship construction.
Would apply, actually, yes. All
That's
right.
2 successes.
It's the 2 you need. So I'm not going to get rid of dynamic lighting, but if you will imagine, basically, if you go to the southwest, almost in a straight diagonal from where you are now, you think you have a reading of the general power reactor, or what might be in main engineering. However, I do have a bit of evilness from the player, from the viewers out there. So I'm actually going to spend that complication that you're also detecting coming towards you is a very large life sign. One that, shall we say, is very reminiscent of the thing that destroyed your shuttle. Also, you do have a good power as well, so you also have one more momentum than usual.
Jaro points in the direction. In that direction, but I think we've got another creature.
Is there a way perhaps we can use the alcoves and hallways, perhaps double around it without it noticing us and getting to engineering?
Well, I don't know the layout. I just know that the power readings I'm getting are that direction.
And the creature's coming from that direction?
Generally the same way.
All right. Mr. Fives, tactical assessment.
If it's big, it will probably fall to enhanced phaser levels.
It's highly unlikely that any natural creature would be able to resist a phaser set on disintegrate. But if you wanted to spare it, we could always set up some kind of diversion using a tricorder, perhaps? They seem to be attracted to our shuttlecraft and its energy emanations.
I don't mean to kill it, Mr. Prin. Just take it out of the equation for while we're here.
It's right about then that you hear the grating sound of metal screeching from the left passageway, along with what's probably the sound of a door being wrenched open.
Oh God.
Well, that's the way we need to go. So I suggest we get moving, or we go into another direction.
GM, is there a way that Fives might be able to tune his implant for night vision?
I think based on what we know of your implant, I think you can just do that for free.
Okay. Fives will take point in the direction of the screeching.
Okay.
And then just keeping an eye out for other things. Hey, if I say get down, get down.
So, very important question before I say anything else. Are the other three, Alel, Datig, and our lovely Cardassian friend Prin, are you going to stay in the elevator shaft, or are you coming out into the hallway as well?
Oh,
Very important
boy.
distinction.
Oh, I'm going, certainly.
Yeah, I think we all have to go.
I'll go ahead.
I guess I'll bring up the rear.
All right. So, right as you clamber out, last one out, Datig, what happens is you hear big old thunks. You hear thump, 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 screech, thump, thump, thump. And Fives at the front, you see just the hint of a lumbering form filling up the hallway, somehow, even with its enlarged size, able to squeeze into such a space, its claws trailing against the walls as two baleful red eyes begin to look at you.
Well, that's friendly. And Fives is waving at everybody, get down, get down.
Oh, I was like getting down. Oh my God, so close.
Fives is gonna set his phaser for not disintegrate, but basically like arc welding, and
Okay.
just like draw a line in front of the beast and then point the phaser back at it.
All right. Roll me a presence and a security, please. Difficulty of 3.
Presence attack.
Mm-hmm.
Presence,
He's gonna bully it.
security. Can I get persuasion on that?
Sure, I'll give it to you. Why not?
Wow. Murder.
Well, I don't have intimidation.
Look, it's no escape and avoidance.
Or forensic science.
Or power systems.
Nice.
All right, so
Oh,
the thing, whatever the hell it is, sort of looks at the line, and it starts to make a noise which almost sounds like witches cackling, but played in reverse. So it's almost like a profane, sort of echoey abomination to the ears. And as its jaw opens up wider and wider as the noise gets louder and louder, you hear something skittering in the ceiling above you all. Now, you don't know what's up there, but you do hear something much smaller skittering around above you.
Take aim high.
Yes. Incoming spiders.
Oh no.
Fives is going to keep his phaser trained on this thing, and if he can get a shot at maximum stun to the inside of its head through its mouth, that he'll take it.
Okay. Let's say that that's going to take your minor action to aim for the mouth. We'll let you reroll 1 die on that. However, I'm still going to make this fairly difficult. This is a difficulty of 4 in order to hit it where you need to.
Okay. I am going to... I think I'm going to use my determination here.
Okay.
And this is for the uniform.
Okay. So that's 2 free successes to start with.
Okay. And what's the shot?
The shot is control and security.
Whatever happened to daring security?
I mean, if you want to go
Melee.
fisticuffs it, that would be daring security.
All right. And I'll spend a momentum for an extra die.
Okay. It would be
Well,
2 momentum, but
2
yeah.
momentum. Yeah.
Okay. And then I've got energy weapons as a focus.
Would apply as a focus.
Look at this dedication, folks, holding the phaser while rolling.
All right, so that is indeed the 4 successes you need. So go ahead and roll me your challenge die. I believe you have a type 3, so that would be 8 challenge die, if I remember correctly. Wow, that is significant. So you level your type 3, you take careful aim, and right as it starts to advance towards you, you actually shoot it instead of giving it a warning shot. And you do so in a way that the beam goes into the thing's mouth and hits its probably more vital or more sensitive spots, because you actually do stun it. It does sort of clump forward onto the ground before you, but based on the fact of the way it's breathing and twitching, you probably don't have long before it gets up again.
I bought us a little bit of time. What's going up top?
Let's move, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's climb over. Are we climbing over it?
Is it fully in the way? We can't scooch?
Let's just say that if you want to get over this thing, there's going to be a task involved, and failing it would be funny for me, but maybe not funny for you.
Yeah, we have to get in that direction, so let's go.
Fives is just going to advance. Based on what he sees, is there a preferred safe way around it, tactically speaking?
Do you have tactics as a focus?
What about
ha-
escape and avoidance?
Is there a way?
I
Is there
have-
a way to climb it, avoiding the spiky bits?
I also have infiltration. I know how to get places.
Tell you what, let's do this. Let's have Fives roll me an insight and security. And Jaro, since you have Starship Construction, let's have you assist with an insight engineering. And let's set the difficulty on this at a 4.
Does that give me observation? Or
It
infiltration?
would give you infiltration as a focus.
All right, no help.
All right, yeah, so what I'm going to say then, with only 2 successes on a difficulty 4, you're pretty sure that the only way is to go over this thing.
Gotta move fast. It's gonna wake up.
All right. I was going to go first.
GM, while the other characters are going, since Datig is bringing up the rear, is it possible for me to get a detailed scan of this organism with my tricorder?
It is, yes. No real roll required, but is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Yeah, because I would like to, if we could make it a roll, perhaps even at a difficulty 0 to generate some momentum, I'd like to use that roll to piggyback into creating an advantage.
Sure, I'll give it to you then. Go ahead and roll me a reason science on your part, or even a reason medicine.
Would Alel, since she's injured, be like compromised during her trek across the creature? Like, would it be harder for her?
I would say
Oh,
it would be
Lord.
harder.
Oh my god, we had to roll a complication with that.
Okay, so this is going to happen much quicker than I thought, but here's what happens. So Datig, you run your tricorder over the creature, and something about, maybe it's the noise it's making, or maybe the creature's just recovering that quickly, it's waking up much faster than usual. So what I'm going to say here is, and this, I'll handle it as we go. In order to get over the creature, it's a fitness security.
Oh, no.
And the difficulty on it was a 1, but now is a 2 because of the complication.
Oh, no.
Now, the catching point to this is that Alel, since you are injured, you have your full stress back because it's a new scene, but because you are injured, you have an increased complication range of 18 to 20. The difficulty on this, again, is a 2, and if any of you roll a complication, the thing might wake up. I will be rolling a challenge dice for every complication that you roll, and if it rolls an effect, the thing wakes up.
Okay, what am I rolling?
It is a fitness security from everyone trying to get over this thing. Again, difficulty of 2.
GM, can I, since my last roll I did buy momentum, can I use untap potential and get that challenge dice roll?
Oh yeah. If you've got untap potential, definitely roll that now. That could help you.
It's 1 challenge die, extra momentum of 2.
2 extra momentum could be very crucial.
Then
Nice.
I'll go first, and I'll spend a momentum to get 3 dice and hopefully win it right back.
And I was also going to spend a couple of points of momentum to create an advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me know,
How much
GM, if this
momentum do we
is...
have?
5.
Got 5 right now.
Okay.
So let me know if this would actually work first before we actually do the spend. So basically what I'd like to do is glean something of this thing's neurological makeup, so its nervous system, to allow us to tune our phasers, or even use a tricorder to more effectively disrupt its nervous system and keep it at bay.
I would say normally I would give it to you, but since you rolled the complication here, yeah, I think the complication's the only reason I'm going to say no, but I like where your head's at.
Okay, well, that's fine. Then I guess we'll just save that momentum for trying to climb over this big hulking brute.
What's the light level like in this
Oh,
hallway?
there's the
Is it
1
still pitch
momentum
black?
right back.
Right back. Nice job.
Nice.
So the light level in the hallway is, think gas station at night, but with
Nice.
flickering lights.
I love it.
So
What a
gas station at
vibe.
night.
That's aesthetic. Okay. So what's my difficulty or complication range?
So your difficulty
I
is
was just
still
going to
a 2.
say,
Oh, go ahead.
before she tries, I'd like to sort of clamber over the creature partially, and then Korat Prin would try to assist her as best as possible, recognizing that she's injured, and sort of escorting her across. So maybe I could roll an assist rather than going over, and I have to wait another turn, giving it more chance to attack me. Something like that.
I'd be okay with that.
Nice.
So yeah, Alel, if you're going over next, again, it's a fitness security. It's a difficulty of 2. Escape and avoidance would apply. And you don't want to see complications here.
Okay, how much momentum do we have?
5.
5 at the moment.
I will spend 1 to roll 3.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Spend 2, 1.
Well, with her
And,
increased complication range, she shouldn't be rolling more and more dice.
Right.
'Cause One, yeah.
Well,
And assisting with
that's
fitness and security.
Great.
fitness security on Prin's part as well, yes.
Great.
That was that extra momentum spend.
All right, so no help from Prin. So let me roll an effect die before I flavor what happens, because it could change very drastically.
Oh, fun.
Okay,
I
I
regret
rolled a
bringing
0.
this
You're
up.
good. So, Prin, you get on top of this creature and you offer out a hand to help Alel up. And Alel, you take the hand and pull yourself up, sort of using that momentum to pull yourself up over the creature's haunches. But as you do, you kind of like kick it in the face, and one of its eyes flutters open for a moment. And there's a moment where you just feel like you're about to be on top of a woken beast, but then the eye continues to be closed. And Alel is over the beast now, but that still leaves Prin,
close.
Fives, and Datig to get over.
Lieutenant Commander, you're up next.
All right. Let's see about this.
And what I'm going to say is
and-
that even though I did not roll an effect on that challenge die, I am now going to impose a complication range of 18 to 20 for everybody trying to get over this thing.
Of
Yay.
course.
All right, and sorry, this is a fitness security, is it?
Difficulty of 2.
All right. I'm gonna use a point of momentum to buy an extra d20.
Okay. And what I would say
we
is,
know how that
Prin,
worked out.
Oh.
I
That's two
told you not
complications.
to.
That's
You didn't tell me
2.
not to. You told Alel not to.
Oh my god. Yep.
Oh,
All right.
Guys,
Here
what
we
the-
go. So, Prin, you're still helping Datig get over, but Datig does the same thing Alel does, and he just kicks the creature in the wrong way. And this time the eye snaps open, and
It's
a
like,
claw...
God, stop kicking me.
Exactly. And a claw reaches up and literally plucks Datig up like he was like a doll, like a teddy bear, and begins like thrashing him about in the air. And now we have to go into turn order because you are literally fighting this thing. So let me just clear the turn order, give everybody a turn. And normally what I would say is the players would go first, but I think thematically the creature's going to go first here.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm gonna. Datig is just going to yell at Fives. And go, Fives, use of lethal force is authorized.
So, Datig, how do you feel about being a Tellarite football?
I mean,
He's the right
you
shape.
just add star to the end of it, and then I'd probably be okay with it. But
Well, with 2 successes, the creature looks like it's going to bite you for a second, but then like gives you a sniff and goes, ugh, and just hurls you down the hallway. And for giggles, I'm going to actually roll to see how many squares he throws you. All right, so you go flying. Let's see. Let me actually count this out here. So you were here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You go flying past the elevator shaft you came up in and slam into the ground, taking a grand total of 3 damage. But you're in a suit, so only 2. So 2 stress damage.
Mm-hmm.
And you're prone, if that matters moving forward. And that is going to be the creature's turn. So who would like to go next? Could be anyone in the players.
Am I near its eyeball?
Relatively speaking, yes.
Can I use my cyber weapon to tase it in the eye?
You could certainly try. What I would say is that melee might not be your best option here. That's the only hint I'm going to give you.
you're gonna
Only
make it
if
mad.
it's your
I
only
appreciate the
option.
hints. The tactical assessment is tase it in the eye. No, don't tase it in the eye. All right. Well, I have been authorized to use lethal force. I'm going to fire my phaser at it one more time from, I guess, point blank range.
Mm-hmm. So just so you know, because you're doing a lethal attack, I do get threat for you going lethal, just so you know.
I understand.
But yeah, control security, difficulty of 2.
Anybody opposed to me using momentum on this roll?
Use it.
No.
Okay. I'll spend. Is it 2 for a third dice?
For you, it would be
1.
1 because you haven't spent determination, so it would just be the 1 for the third die.
I have spent determination.
Not for this roll, though.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. All right, so I'll spend 1 momentum for that third dice. And energy weapons again.
Yep.
All right, here's for all the marbles.
What
Well,
the?
We're getting it out early. That's all I have to say.
Or it's
we-
literally the worst time for this to happen.
So you are going to hit it, but I know what the complication's going to be. So go ahead and roll your damage, and
It does nothing.
I'll flavor appropriately. Should be 8 challenge die.
All right.
I was just going to say, always remember to use your minor action for something, because you could aim or charge the phaser to do more damage or the like.
Thank you for the tip.
Okay. So what's going to happen is you do fire point blank into the creature's flank, and you definitely leave a big black scar, enough that on any other creature, that would have easily brought it down, if not disintegrated it. But on this creature, as the burn mark fades, you realize with horror that the flesh is already knitting back together and is otherwise repairing itself. So you've done some damage to it, but it also seems to have some form of regeneration. The complication that you rolled, unfortunately, means that the creature's just going to swipe in your general direction, and your Type 3 phaser is turned into bits of a toy, basically. Your Type 3 is gone.
Still got a type. Oh wait, the type 2s don't work.
Who else has a phaser that works here?
Jaro does.
I got one.
I do.
Oh, okay, not me then.
All right. Well, that's the player's turn. Does anybody wish to retain the initiative using quick to action or 2 momentum?
I don't think we should.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
does
think we-
anybody
I
have
think-
that? Do I have that?
No, I don't think any of us have quick action.
Nope.
Okay. Then it will be the creature's turn again. And the creature is going to look between Prin, as it's just now noticing Prin on its back. It's going to look at 5s. I'm going to do the diplomatic thing. I'm going to roll a d2. 1 will be Prin, 2 will be 5s. Prin, you're our lucky winner. So go ahead and roll me a daring security difficulty of 1, Prin. And this is to represent you dodging out of the way of the creature's claws coming at you.
Counter-terrorism operations, because I am terrified and I'm
this is
fighting my
terrifying.
terror.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I didn't think that was going to be sold. Okay.
All right,
the
well,
best
if I
use of
roll 1
counterterrorism
success
ever.
here, that's all I need. So let's see if we get it. And you might notice
Oh,
I'm
boy.
not using a macro for this. There's a reason for it. Yeah, there's the 1 success. So what happens is, Prin, you are now considered to be grappled by the creature. And what that means is that you have a complication that the only thing you can do is on your turn, you have to roll me a fitness security difficulty of 2 to try and break free. And that's the only thing you can do on your turn. The other part of this complication is that anyone shooting at the creature suffers an increased complication range. So if Jaro were to turn around, or if Datig were to fire his phaser, or hell if Alel wanted to just fisticuffs it, there's a chance that you would be hitting Prin, just so you know. But yeah, it's now the player's turn. How would you like to react?
There's no
wants to-
weaknesses, so how do we
Um,
react?
So 5, I don't know how long we get to talk, but 5 is going to yell at Jaro to find, the interface that he needs. At least that's one other person out of the way. And Alel, you should go with Jaro. And Lieutenant Commander, how are you doing over there?
I'm fine, thank you. Please help me.
Oh no, I can see your case.
I'm better than Mr. Prin. We have to help him.
That's about all
All
you
right.
can say.
Jaro is going to he's gonna aim
Okay.
and shoot.
Well, can she move?
Well, it's only 1 at a time, so you can't move quite yet unless you want to go instead of Jaro.
Okay.
Good point.
So yeah, he moves to here and aims and shoots.
All right.
And I'll use 1 momentum.
Okay.
And that's control security.
Control security, difficulty of 2.
And I have Deadeye Marksman.
All right.
So
Survey says
damn it. It's just like not. There we go.
that's 4 successes, so you
Oh,
get 2
nice.
momentum right back. Very nice. And yeah,
Let's
go.
do piercing.
Okay.
With, one of those momentum,
All right.
and then we'll keep the other one for us.
So, very important question. Were you firing lethal or no?
Yes.
All right, so I do get another threat. So yeah, go ahead and 8 challenge dice for you as well as you fire your type 3. All right, with 2 effects, that's piercing, and that gets rid of 4 resistance. So I think what happens here is, Jaro, you take careful aim not to hit Prin, and you open fire. And this time, the creature does sort of drop to one leg, almost falling right onto 5s. But it catches itself at the last moment, and I'm actually going to spend 2 threat to avoid an injury here. So the creature will remain standing, but only just.
Here's the important question. Does it drop Prin?
I'll roll a challenge dice. On an effect, it drops Prin. It drops Prin.
Yay! Run. On your turn, of course.
Well, that's my next question is, unless you spend 2 momentum to retain the initiative, the creature's going to go next.
I support the 2 initiative to get
Yeah.
Prin out
Yeah,
of the way.
Prin needs to move.
Or just to get Prin to shoot it.
Or,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would also work.
Yeah, let's make. We're gonna retain initiative, and you should also use that momentum for your roll.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I guess the creature, as it rears back with the injury, tosses Prin against the wall. He tumbles to the ground, scrabbling with the phaser rifle, and then from a crouch, he aims and takes a shot at the roaring beast.
All right. Control security, difficulty of 2.
And all right.
You should use the momentum for the third.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
So 3d20, no applicable focus.
All right, well, there's the 2 successes you need, and that's not a complication, so you do definitely hit it.
And should I reroll that 0 with aim?
You hit it already. I just keep it.
Yeah.
So that's 7 challenge dice.
7 challenge dice.
That's where you spend the momentum if you had it.
I'll give you a threat to reroll those 5 zeros.
Okay, I'll take another threat.
There we go.
Nice.
And that is significant. So, again, important question. Were you firing lethally?
Yes.
In that case, Prin, as you open fire with your Type 3, this time you maybe hold the trigger down a little bit longer than what 5s and Jaro did, and the effect is instantaneous in that the beam literally pierces through the creature from one end to another, and almost like we see in multiple times in the Star Trek shows, it quite literally disintegrates around the phaser blast through it, meaning that moments later, there is nothing left of the creature as you exit combat.
Holy crap, Prin.
Next
And,
time, can we just kill the thing from the outset and save ourselves the trouble?
Five's gonna ignore that and go hang out with his commander.
Yeah. And
It would
Datig's
work
gonna...
much better if people didn't kick the monster.
Alel's gonna like scoot herself around the corner, still away from it, like towards where Jaro is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Commander, can you get up?
Yes, I'm all right. All right, let's get to engineering and find a way off this
Barge of the damned. 10-4.
All right,
So,
so I'm
Jaro-
assuming
Yeah, I was going to say, I was
Go
going to
ahead.
describe the rooms you're about to see. So, Jaro, as you advance down the hallway towards what you're hoping is engineering, that room to your north, this one here,
Mhm.
that is filled with broken terminals and broken displays. However, just looking at it, you can tell that that probably is some form of what might have been a battle bridge at one point, or some form of maybe a fire control room. Like something in that was once very important to the operation of the ship,
Hmm.
but is now largely defunct.
Is looking around the room quickly, does it look like anything is even remotely salvageable?
Roll me a insight and engineering difficulty of 0.
Oh!
I'll give you a choice here. You can still succeed, but I will take 2 momentum. Or not 2 momentum, 2 threat.
You got it.
Okay. So, Jaro, you're looking around at everything, and you're not really seeing anything that can be salvaged, but what you do notice is that something has been changed about how this layout has occurred, and that probably is not a good descriptor, so let me back it up a little bit. The room is ruined. That much is clear. However, the more you look at sort of the broken wiring and the cabling going from floor to ceiling, from terminal to terminal, you realize that this room has been broken in a very deliberate fashion. Almost as if something intelligent or something knowingly destroyed the consoles to make something else work. And you can tell that because at the culmination of where all the wires lead to is a spot on the floor where there is a almost perfect oval in the floor. So if you'll imagine debris everywhere else in the room, and then a clean oval in the floor next to a bunch of ends of cables. Also, thank you, Genesis, for those gift subs. Thank you, thank you.
Hmm. Well, they tore apart this room, but it looks like they were trying to power something. And this was the old battle bridge, but I don't think I can do anything from here.
That's unfortunate. Oh, and GM, I would like to just let you know that Datic is going to give his Type 3 phaser to 5s.
Noted.
Does Alel need to like patch her suit or anything?
Well, that was sort of the next thing. So you are back at full stress there, Alel. But
Mhm.
your suit, for the moment, is exposed to the elements. Now, you could take some time to repair it. I mean, it is one of those things where you would have thought to bring, repairing materials as part of the away team. But you would have to spend about an hour's worth of time to make sure it is 100% seal. So it's just a matter of finding a room or a defensible position and bunkering down.
Yeah, but like, do we know how if the juice is worth the squeeze for that? Like,
That's
is she gonna die if she doesn't do it?
I can't tell you that. I'm the GM.
I mean, if you stay here for a year, yes.
Is it really that not of a problem? Like,
Well, we can.
I won't do it.
Si-
Oh, well,
size,
we might have to like actually vent ourselves to get off this thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the size comparison between Jaro and LL?
That's a good question. I think Alel, isn't Alel like 5'3" or 5'4"?
No, she's like probably 5'7".
5'5", 5'7", okay.
Ish, yeah.
And Jaro, I always imagined, was taller.
Yeah. How interchangeable are the suits is basically the question.
I mean,
Are they
they
one
have to
size
be
fit
like a
all?
standard size.
Yeah.
And I think that at the end of the day, the answer to your question is yes, you could give your suit to Alel and take her suit, but then you would be the one facing the problems with the atmosphere and the whole not sealed environment.
Yeah, but Jaro's got, well, he offers. So we can switch uniforms.
That doesn't solve the problem.
Yes, but you're a medical officer and you're a little bit, well, let's just get going.
Yes,
Don't
Ensign,
suggest anything weird like that ever again. Jaro, God. We need to have a talk after this is over.
I hate to quote regulations to my own detriment, but Regulation 589 states that on any away mission on which the security chief is present, the security chief should remain behind should any of the other crew have any chance of success. So if
Wow.
anybody's taking a suit, it's going to be mine.
Any
All
other
right,
martyrs
Everybody just
on the
belay that talk for now. We don't know that we're, to use yet another human euphemism, up the creek.
Ooh, I like that one.
Also,
That's one
I
of my
must say
faves.
that if anyone is going to die or be put in jeopardy, I really think it should be you. You seem to be the least useful member of the away team, considering your particular set of skills.
Ensign?
We have another doctor.
What?
Ensign, you and I are going to have a serious discussion about decorum when we get
I'm
back
so
to the
glad
ship.
the Borg didn't assimilate you. Oh boy.
It's simple practicality. It might come down to our survival. Wouldn't you rather have an
Ensign.
engineer than a doctor, considering your manifest skills, Lieutenant Commander?
Well, I am redundant then as well, Ensign.
That's what Yes, I said that. You're just repeating what I told you.
Ensign?
Well, I'm agreeing with you, okay?
All right, Ensign, Doctor. For now, we're going to table this conversation. Once again, Ensign, you and I are going to have a discussion when we get back to the ship. When everybody gets back to the ship.
Except
Now,
the losses.
the next words out of your mouth had better be yes, sir.
And when he opens his mouth to say yes, sir, I'm going to spend 2 threat that you hear something dropping in the corridor behind you, Dante.
Oh no.
For the love of...
And we're not going to go into initiative order, but you see at the very far end of the hallway are several spiders just sort of dropping down and getting a lay of the land. And oh, look, something yummy to eat.
Mr. Jaro, can we close this door?
Yes!
Oy.
Go ahead.
I'm asking you.
We going
I
where?
don't like to we just
In here?
I mean, I figure we're just gonna, let's
Where are we going? Where?
I'm figuring we go towards the engineering. I'll seal off this door right here once everybody gets through.
That's
Okay.
this one? Oh, which one?
Down here. Yep.
down here with him. Okay, all right, yeah.
Oh,
everybody-
that's this area. Okay.
Yeah, this
GM
door
can-
right here.
No,
Can I
just
see
keep
if-
going down.
Can I see if the power cell for 5's former phaser is around and intact?
Roll me a... Let's call this a reason and security, difficulty of 2. If you succeed, it's intact. If you don't succeed, it is not.
Okie dokie. Observation.
Observation would definitely apply.
I can.
Yeah,
live
so unfortunately you do find it, but it's not salvageable.
All right.
So yeah, I'm assuming you're gonna follow. Okay, yeah. So as you guys bolt down to the southwest of the map, let me move so that people can see what's going on. You get behind what you hope are a sturdy set of doors, which you then bar shut. Otherwise, get into the manual mechanism, close them pretty damn well. And not a moment too soon, because you hear the thumps of what you're hoping are arachnids hitting the door, but they're not able to get through. At least that's the hope. Now, in this room that you're in, I do have to point out something very particular. So, to the right of Prin and Alel's tokens, there's another room. And if you were to look into that room, you would see that it is the firing controls and the loading-unloading mechanism for the giant railgun that this ship possesses. And in fact, if you look carefully, there is a transparent sort of metal or aluminum or some equivalent thereof that if you look just carefully enough, you can see the Kongo in the distance.
So Alel will open that door
Mhm.
right in here.
Yep, in there.
Yeah, she'll peek through, see like vaguely. She's also like a little bit of tunnel vision right now. She's like, sir, she's calling out for Datig.
Yeah, Datigal comes. Yes, doctor.
I think you should see this. She like
Here, I'll take
steps
away
aside.
Take away the dynamic lighting so you can see how far it goes.
Whoa. Yeah, okay. She's like, I think you can see the Congo. Look.
I do. Ensign Jaro, we have a clear line of sight to the Congo. Is there a way to get the communication out to the ship?
I could give it my best shot. And what Jaro is going to do is he is going to adjust his phaser to basically use the light beam to carry the message.
Oh, nice. Point to point. Just nice.
Inventive. I love it. Let's do this because it is unorthodox. This would be a daring and an engineering. I'm just trying to think what would be a good difficulty for this. Let's make this a difficulty of 3. But I am going to make the complication range a 17 to 20 on this one.
Okay. So I am going to jury rig it.
Okay.
Which brings the difficulty down by 2.
Okay. So, just so you know, though, that once you fire this thing...
It'll last for a scene,
right.
Technically.
Yeah, so you pretty much only get 1 or 2 shots at this.
Mm-hmm.
GM, can Datig assist Jaro with a daring science to sort of help him with the maybe theoretical portion of it, with maybe a focus like astrophysics?
I'll let you do a daring science. How does that sound?
Well, that's better than I'd hoped.
Well, that's a complication.
That doesn't do it.
GM, you said this is a railgun emplacement?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big old rails, electromagnetic rails meant to fire a projectile.
Oh, I rolled security. Sorry.
Still, I don't think that's still not enough to pass, I don't think. Let me check.
Well, I rolled a 12 on it, so I would have definitely...
Oh, okay, so you would have 2 successes, so you would get 1 momentum back because it came down to a difficulty of 1. What was your thought there, Dag, before we go any further? What was your thought?
Sorry, yeah.
Well, Fives has a focus in shipboard tactical systems, and basically looking to, buttress their attempts. Would there be any kind of range setting on this railgun that we could use to communicate? But I'm gonna wait to see what happens here.
Okay, so we're gonna play this like old school D&D. I need to know exactly what it is that you say, Jaro. What does your message contain?
Jaro is going to send a message that is going to be to one of his. The message is going to be engineer name here. So whoever the engineer is that he works with the most, tell engineer blah to prepare the tunnel.
The tunnel.
Yep.
Okay.
And they've been working on a tunneling transport using the
micro wormhole generator.
Micro wormhole generator.
Okay. So what I'm going to say then is you take a lineup with your phaser rifle down the barrel of the railgun, and you fire out, and you do hit the Congo, or at least you think you hit the Congo, but if the message was received, if the message was understood, you have absolutely no idea, unfortunately. Okay. Also, because of the complication, and because you jury-rigged it, your Phaser 3 is now defunct, as in it is just a hunk of plastic.
Oh yeah, I would assume it's just smoking. So then Jaro's going to set up the transport enhancers right here and say, I sent a message. I can't tell exactly if they got it, but if they did, they'll lock onto this location. We're only going to be able to go one at a time. So I would say the injured suit goes first.
Agreed.
And because we're coming up on break time and someone redeemed an evil redeem, the complication is that as you say that, you hear something thudding in your direction along with more claw marks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to imagine if the camera just focuses suddenly on Alel's face where she gets to say a zingy one-liner before we go to break. There you go. There's our singing one-liner. Just nervous laughter. There we go.
Perfect.
All right, we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, everybody. Stick around. All right, welcome back, everybody. If you're just tuning in, well, the players are up a creek without a paddle, as the saying goes. They've found a potential way back to the Kongo from their quote-unquote prison ship derelict that they've gone to explore. However, let's just say that they now have something akin to a miniature Godzilla bearing down on them. And they only just killed the first one they encountered. So another one coming, not really good news. But I believe the players have... Tell you what, I'm going to give you 5 minutes of real time to decide on a plan. Obviously, if you decide on something before that, we'll move forward. But I am going to set an actual timer on my phone before something will happen. So if you all are ready, 3, 2, 1, you have 5 minutes.
So
Okay.
we have that. We can potentially have the tunneling system set up, and we'll get people over one at a time as quickly as we can. The transport enhancers will help with that, and providing they got the message.
Right. So, if they did and they do, then we have to start with LL, for the suit is damaged. If it comes to it and that thing breaches before we all have a chance to leave, then those of us with functioning EV suits will evacuate the ship through the barrel of the railgun.
Wait, are you saying I'm gonna be
Yes.
going through a micro wormhole?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Has that
really
ever been done
jealous.
before?
Not to my knowledge. Jaro?
Sure,
Theoretically,
for
it's been done.
Beta testing at Daystrom?
And we send signals through it all the time. You'd be perfectly fine. You're no
Yes.
more complex than a set of,
Well, I mean, she'd be compressed into a data stream very similar to a
We've
subspace
got to do
message.
this now.
Exactly.
Something's
No,
coming.
I don't want to do this. I'm not comfortable with it.
Do you
Well,
want
then
to
you can
talk
stay
to the
here and
monster?
die. That's fine.
Well,
I mean,
no, it's Doctor. I order you to be
Ooh.
transported through the micro wormhole
You are
generator
gonna have
first.
to push me through that thing.
Then I will push you through it.
We'll see.
Jar's looking for signs for the linkage to start.
So far, no linkage has occurred with your transporter enhancers.
I was just checking out this room. Are there shells in here for this ray gun? And what kind of ray gun is this?
Railgun. But yeah,
Right,
the railgun shells you actually do find in the mechanism is a turbolift-sized canister. So if you'll imagine just literally a turbolift just filled with some form of armament, that is what they fire, basically.
What are the shells made out of?
It's an interesting question. I'll pause the timer. I would say that they're made out of a durable material that is similar to the same makeup of the hull, so some duranium alloy.
Radium composite.
Yeah, some composite, but it's definitely not something you've ever seen before. Even during your time as a Borg, it doesn't come up with any sort of comparison. So this is a new material to you.
Is it solid?
Well, since you asked, what happens is when you go to softly push on it, it's almost as if it's malleable. Like you maybe push a little bit harder and then it like snaps back to being like a full substance. So it's almost like a non-Newtonian fluid, if you will. If you know what that is, where like if you hit it a certain way, it works like a liquid, but if you hit it a different way, it works like a solid. So something similar to that.
I would like to investigate the possibility that one of these things could be
We
opened
jury
up,
rig it as an escape pod.
put everybody inside, and see if it'll be airtight. We can put a pattern enhancer in there with it since it's turbo lift size,
Mhm.
and if we triple tap our comm badges, we'll send emergency signals.
All right. I would think that this could be either a reason security, a reason science, maybe even a control science. The difficulty on this would just be a 1, so it wouldn't be that hard.
And would I be able to use shipboard tactical systems as the focus?
Yeah, I'd give it to you.
Okay.
I'd just say, while he's looking into that, Prin would be speaking to Jaro about something. We can handle that later, but it's happening at the same time, if that's okay.
Noted. We'll come back to you in a moment.
Sure.
We only have one momentum, but I'm going to use it for a third dice.
Okay.
Aaron?
Would I be able to assist him with a reason science?
Sure, I'll give it to you.
Lieutenant Commander, I think if we do... Marbles.
All right,
Intriguing.
that's 3 successes. Does Data get you any more?
We'll see. Reason. Science. No, don't click cancel. Click confirm. Reason.
Cancel culture got me like...
Science. 1d20.
All right, so no help from Datig, but with 3 successes, you get 2 momentum right back. And yeah, there's only one downside to your plan there, Fives, is that
someone has to stay behind.
Someone has to stay behind. And the other part is that there's no power to the railgun right now. So you would have to somehow get the power to the railgun to work to fire the thing in the first place. But
how many phasers do we have?
Working just 1 type 3 by my count. But what I would say is it 2? Who has the second one?
Prin.
Oh, right. Prin has
Prin
the
and
second one.
5s.
Prin and 5s.
Yep.
Okay. What I would say then is, since you have had time to look around the room you're in, the room to the west on this map is main engineering. So conceivably, if Jaro can get it running again, you could power the railgun and use your plan. But I'm now going to resume the timer because I think Prin and Jaro wanted to have a quick conversation. So 3, 2, 1, go.
Ensign, I know that the phaser type 2s are non-functional, but are the power cores still charged?
Jaro checks real quick.
They are.
Yeah, we still got power.
Could they be improvised into some kind of miniature explosive device, something to supplement our rather meager arms?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I'm waiting for a connection anyway. Tell me if any of these lights turn green. And Jaro's going to start working on converting the power cells to grenades.
Okay. Roll me. Let's see. You have 5. Roll me 5 challenge dice. On an effect, you have converted that power pack into a grenade.
Does his jury rigging talent come into play in any way?
What I would say is that his jury rigging can come into play, but it would basically add instability to the grenade.
Okay.
So it's entirely up to you whether or not you want to use jury rigging here, Jaro. As it is, you can get 2 grenades, but if you use jury rigging, I'll give you 4, but 2 of those grenades will be unstable.
You know what? We're going to go, and I'm going to point out that these 2 grenades are last resort grenades.
I don't know what that means, but I'll let you carry those.
All right, I think we have a really good escape plan here. Lieutenant Commander, would you like to, or should I?
Your idea, Mr. Fives. By all means, proceed with the briefing.
Right on. So we've got one of these, and he'll tap on the turbo lift shell, for lack of a better term. This thing can be airtight, and it can get everybody out. We need power to the railgun. Jaro, I was going to look to you to see if you had any suggestions on how we can power this baby up and get off.
I see no reason I can't give it a jolt. Sustained power might be a different story, but I can give it enough to shoot.
With one of those grenades you made, or another
No,
idea?
just quickly doing a repair. I just need to shunt the power.
Yeah. No, we've got the. If you need to shunt the power from the ship, that's great. We've got power cells from the phaser rifles. If we can need those faster.
I can get that going. Who's going to stay back and fire the weapon?
I am.
No.
Once you guys get
I
Lieutenant Commander, if I may, once you guys get back to the ship, use that micro wormhole generator and get me out.
I can do
Cherclunk.
that.
Cherclunk.
All right.
Screech.
Jaro's quickly pushing power over.
What
All
side
right.
is it coming from? And is that side closed? Is the question. Are there doors around it?
There's a door between it and you, but we've seen how much doors hold these types of things.
Yeah. Can fives do a charge and weld the door to the walls?
You can certainly do so. It might buy you some extra time.
Can you do it, Jaro?
Yeah, I think I can.
Lieutenant Commander?
You are going to have to be ready. So the other three need to get into that damn pod now.
And at this point, I think just for the sake of drama, I'd actually like to call for an opposed presence roll between Datig and Fives to see who's actually going to stay behind.
I'll allow it. And let's do the gentleman's agreement. No momentum, no threat, no determination.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is
so
this presence?
Datig is
What?
going
So
to use presence
Datig
command.
is presence command, Fives is presence security.
Okay, because we're quoting regulations at each other.
Yep.
And he can always just order me.
That's true.
That is an option, but
I have persuasion as a focus.
it would apply, yeah. All right, well, there's 2 from Fives. 2 from Datig. I'm going to say that the winner here is going to be probably going to be Fives because he has the higher presence and the higher security. So I think, and you can justify this however you want, Datig, Fives wins this argument.
And he wins it by saying, "Forgive me, Lieutenant Commander. I understand your reasoning, but you are the XO and a medical professional. I'm just a grunt with a gun."
We'll continue this conversation aboard the Kongo. I expect to see you there. And Datig will head towards the
Alel's
makeshift escape
been
pod.
slowly climbing in during this conversation.
Under his
Already.
breath, Fives will say, "If we all get back to the ship, I'll be there with bells on."
All right.
All right.
So from the sounds of it, it sounds like Jaro needs to work a little bit of engineering magic to get the reactors up and running. So, Jaro, when you step into what fares for main engineering of this derelict, you see what is essentially 2 fusion reactors that are just need of a cold start. So it is going to be a timed extended task, and it's actually going to be fairly easy, all things considered, but it's very much a how quickly do you get it done situation. So your work track is going to be 12, your magnitude is a 3, your difficulty is a 3, there was a resistance of 1, and every single round you attempt this is going to count for your action on that round.
Okay.
So if you have momentum, which you do right now, you can spend 2 momentum to make it so you can attempt 2 times a round, but it requires 2 momentum to do it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Before we start, can Fives assist by trying to buy time with that welding the door to the walls kind of thing?
I tell you what, I'll offer you this. If you spend the 2 momentum to create the advantage, what I will say is that the creature has to carve through a certain amount of HP, quote unquote, before it's able to get to you.
What do you think, John?
I actually think the 2 momentum might be better spent for a double roll.
Okay. I will defer to you, and Fives will just take aim.
Noted. All right, well, it is at this point that it is the player's turn to act first, so what would you guys like to do?
Jaro's going to try to shunt the power.
All right, this is a daring engineering, difficulty of 3.
And I only need 1 shot, so I'm using jury rig.
All right.
So that diff 1 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I will... There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Woo!
All right, there's your one success. Now, it does matter how much work you roll here. So 6 challenge dice to represent how quickly or how much effectiveness you have in rebooting these reactors. All right, so you are doing currently 3 work in getting these reactors back up and running.
And how much do we need?
Right
12?
now, you need 12 or you need 3 breakthroughs. So
and
with
how
3
do you
work,
get the breakthrough?
the breakthroughs is you do the magic number of 5 in a single task, just like everything else. So if you do 5 or more work in a single go, you get a breakthrough. If you complete the work track, you get a breakthrough. If you do more work than there is work track, you get a breakthrough. So right now you're 2 off from getting a breakthrough. You're 2 work off.
All right. Yeah, I don't think there's a way we can get that 2. But then I'll use the 2 Well, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, you could just spend those 2 momentum to do 2 extra work instead and get the breakthrough. That would.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So your difficulty does go down to a 2. However, what I'm going to say is that I have so much threat. I am going to spend some of it to create 2 complications. The first complication is that your jury rigging is going to get one of the reactors up and running. However, there is going to be a heavy increase in complication range when 5s hits the button to fire, just so you know. The other complication is that if you attempt to jury rig any further, you risk actually shorting out the generators entirely. So, just so you know, if you use jury rig again, it would be a difficulty of 0, but the complication range would be a 16 to 20, and any complication means the generators go kaput for good.
Yeah, not going to do that next round.
All right. So, do you want to give me 2 threat to make a second attempt, or is it going to be the creature's turn?
Your guys' call.
Dump the threat on him. Let him
All
have
right.
it.
Daring
All right.
engineering. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend determination.
Okay.
And it's shut up, I'm rescuing you.
Very apt in this situation. Definitely
Very
would
good,
apply.
yeah.
Oh!
That is a complication. And I think I know exactly what I want that complication to be. The complication is the first generator you got running goes kaput, which means now not only are you going to lose a little bit of work, you're going to go down to 3 out of 12, but the resistance has now become a 2.
All right.
Which means it is now the creature's turn.
Oh, do I roll challenge dice for that?
No, because you didn't succeed. So unfortunately, you don't get to roll challenge dice because you needed the 2 successes there.
No, I got 3 successes.
Oh, right, determination. I'm doing it dumb. Yes, you do get to roll 6 challenge dice before I apply the resistance and all that.
Okay.
Yay.
And
Sorry.
you got 1 momentum.
Yeah, you did get 1 momentum.
Yeah.
So that is now currently 4 work done before you spend any momentum or threat.
If we spend a momentum, I can get a piercing, right?
Correct.
Or the effect, and then we can have a breakthrough. So let's do that.
All right, so you go to 9 out of 12, magnitude 1, difficulty of 1. And it's one of those things, Jero, where you see that a cascading failure is happening in one engine, and you run over to the console and do what you can to get it up and running. And you manage to save the reactor from going down for good. But you're definitely not going to want to stay here for much longer after this thing fires.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now it is going to be the thing's turn, and the thing is going to roll to see if it can get through the door. And let's see what it gets. Yeah, it comes through that door. In fact, it does it almost like Kool-Aid Man style, where it bursts through and the bits of the board.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh yeah! And it just bursts through. and maybe even 5s, you have to like duck to the left or the right to dodge part of the door, like soaring past you. And as this thing comes in and just sort of looks at you, very ominously looking down at you, it splays its claws wide, and I'm going to spend 2 threat to give it another turn here. So 5s, I need you to roll me a daring security, and I will then know what I have to beat as a DV.
Do I get any focus on this?
If you have hand-to-hand combat, if you have evasion, if you have anything related to not getting hit by a giant creature's claws, would
You
apply.
could try to
Escape
persuade
and
it.
avoid.
That's a
I'd
lot
say-
of words to say no.
I say persuasion.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think you
Please
can
don't hit me.
persuade
I
it.
feel
Please
like-
don't hit me.
I feel
You
like
know?
I'm on Family Feud. We're asking the DM if persuasion is on the board. It's not on the board. 3 X's, we lose.
Survey says.
Just shoot it. Shoot up.
I don't think I'm shooting. I think I'm
Yeah, he's
dodging.
dodging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
you're
dodging.
dodging.
Well, do it at some point, please.
Can I give you 2 threat for a 3rd dice?
You can give me 1 threat for a 3rd dice, yes.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, if
What
you
a
want
deal.
to. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, if you
Yes,
want to give me
enough.
3, you could have 2 dice.
Don't do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
All or nothing, baby.
Oh
So-
God.
So many complications.
Okay,
Hey.
that's difficulty of 4. Very nice.
Oh my god.
So, I have
Holy
to.
shit.
I have to
Now
roll
he's just
4
gonna-
successes.
Now he's just gonna
here.
turn around and spend that threat to give the monster exactly the
Yup.
same number of dice.
Yep. Here goes nothing.
I'm gonna die.
That is so. That's 3 as a crit. 13. No, it only rolled 3 successes. So
Oh.
what happens is the thing comes in with its claw, almost like a death claw from Fallout, just swiping in the air, and you duck low, and it literally whistles above your head. And instead of hitting you, it slams into the wall and just tears a gash into it. So that is its turn. It's now the
That's not a
player's turn.
decompression.
Get
Or-
into the escape pod.
Where's Jaro?
He's
Engineering.
He's in the
Yeah,
engineering.
he's in the engineering right over here.
You get
Um,
into the escape pod.
I'm not done putting the power there.
I think
Well,
while all this is
I-
going on,
If you insist.
Prin, I think Prin should probably. I think Dotting's just gonna look at Prin, who's got the only other working face. and
yes,
say, Mr. Prin, kill it.
I was about to say, as that bickering is going on, Prin is going to level his phaser, aim, and yeah, he'll fire. I'll give you 1 threat to roll an extra die.
All right.
So, sorry. Control.
Only apologize if you miss.
Well, I can re-roll any number of dice with the accuracy of a Type 3, right?
Yep, you could reroll that 0. Because right now
Oh.
you're just baseline passing.
I will do that.
Yeah, let's try to get some momentum. Hey.
All right, hey, you get a momentum back. And yeah, for you, 7 challenge dice. Though I do need to know before you roll, are you attacking lethally or not?
Yes.
Okay.
I assume that it
Make
has
throw.
greater resistance to non-lethal attacks.
Yeah, you figured it out by now. So yeah, that is 6 damage.
Did
Do
we
you
gain
want to
a
spend
point
any
of
momentum for piercing?
Let's do some piercing.
Yeah, I'll spend that 1 momentum that I got from the roll to add 2 piercing.
All right, in that case, it is going to take an injury, but I have enough threat that I'm going to make it avoid the injury. So, Prin, you fire out again, holding the trigger down as you did before, but this time it doesn't go through the thing. And let's just say that, again, if this was any other beast, it would have instantly evaporated before you. But something about this beast just... it has greater resilience for some unknown reason that is totally unrelated to the GM having threat. But yeah.
Out meta the meta.
Mm-hmm. So that's your go then, Prin, which means it's now the thing's turn again. And the thing is gonna go, and I tell you what, I'm actually gonna roll 3 challenge dice here. 1 is going to be 5s, or not challenge dice, I'm just gonna roll a d3. 1 is going to be 5s, 2 is going to be Prin, 3 is going to be either Datig or Alel as they go for their escape pod. All right, looks like Prin, you are our lucky winner today. So Prin, I do need you to roll me daring security to see if you can avoid it. You need to get 3 successes on this.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So
You can do it.
I'm just going to go straight daring security. I'm not going to buy an extra die. So 2d20. Yeah, cultural studies. I have analyzed this creature's, ways of being.
And you get 3. You literally get 3. You thought it was a lost cause, but no, you rolled 3. So, actually, technically, Prin, because you succeeded, you could counterattack the creature with your unarmed damage, which is 4 challenge dice, if you wanted to.
Let's give it a try. I mean, he's going to sort of skitter out of the way and just instinctually lash out with one of those open palm strikes.
Can you imagine?
Just against the leg of the creature. Let's do this. Okay.
So you palm strike the creature, and it just stops what it's doing and looks down at you, and then looks at where you impacted it, and then it starts that horrible laugh-like sound again. But the good news is that it's now the player's turn again, so Alel, Datig, Fives, what would you 3 like to do?
With Fives has a phaser, right?
Mm-hmm.
Old's hiding.
Yeah. Mr. Fives, if you would, please. Shoot her.
Pew pew.
All right.
This is the worst.
ELH is going to get threat because I'm going to go lethal. And
Don't forget to aim or charge, because you can do either with your minor.
Just on a quick tactical assessment, is aiming better right now, or is just maximum power?
Charge. I would charge.
That's where I'm feeling it.
Because you got accurate from the rifle.
Right, but you only get accurate if you aim.
Oh, okay.
I would spend 1 threat to add
another minor action. Yeah, you could do that. So if you give me another threat, it's aim and charge.
Why not? Let's
have aim and charge. We're gonna all beam back to Kongo, and Kongo's gonna explode with all the threat that ELH has right now.
Just throw the Borg cube at you now. Just
Yeah.
Here's the Borg
No. Fives will just go back willingly. It'll be fine.
Monster launches itself out of the railgun. Tears Kongo to pieces.
Universal Translator's like, take me with you. All right, so this is control security with I guess I'll give you even another threat for a 3rd die.
Okay.
No, that would be 2 more threat.
No, he's not sending determination.
Okay.
So
yeah, right. So I have my focus. We're doing aim and charge, and we're doing lethal.
All right.
And away we go.
Well, there's
and
your
I get
2
to
successes.
re-roll that 0.
You can re-roll that 0.
But I got
and
the 2
before you
successes I
roll
needed.
the challenge dice, what charge effect are you implying or imparting to the weapon? You can do Vicious 1, which is every effect is an additional damage. You can do the Piercing 2, where it's ignores 2 resistance. You can do a bunch of other things, but I think Vicious or Piercing. Intense makes it harder to avoid an injury, but it's already avoided an injury, so it can't do it again. So
meta. Yeah, let's go with. I'm gonna go with Vicious 1.
Okay.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's. Do I get? Oh no, wait. I'm not.
You can re-roll that 0 first if you want, though.
Yeah,
I already
for momentum.
hit, so I don't want to get a complication. So it's how many challenge dice?
For you, 8.
8.
The advantage to re-rolling that 0, though, is if you do get a success, you can use the momentum to re-roll 0s.
True, but I just gave him 6 threat for 1 roll.
That's true.
So what's 1 more?
I don't want a complication. Thank you. I want to take this guy out, get Jarl out of here, and we're rolling 8.
Ooh.
All right, and with that charge effect,
11, 12.
you follow Prin's example and you depress the trigger until this thing starts to immolate, and it does literally go up in flames, flailing about as it falls against some of the railgun's controls. And I'm going to say that even though this thing goes down, what's going to happen is that part of the controls have been damaged. So the thing is dead and gone and evaporated. But now you're looking at a sparking and flickering console that you are going to need to use to fire the railgun.
Damn it.
Crap. Jaro, this console's dead.
I'll fix it next!
And because I have so much threat, I'm going to spend 4 of it that you hear a bunch of spiders coming. And I mean a lot of spiders coming. Like, you know that one scene in, what was it, Lost in Space, the original, where there's just that one tunnel and they're filled with those black spider things?
Yes.
Yeah, let's just say that's coming your way. From
The
both
Joey
sides
from
of the room.
Friends. The remake.
Yes, exactly.
What's his name? I forgot his name. Matthew something.
Matt LeBlanc.
Matt LeBlanc.
Just like to clarify,
So
it's not the
Jaro's
original
gonna
Lost in
finish the
Space.
power.
I know. That's the
All right,
one
yeah.
I grew up with.
Because you could roll a complication there, Jaro. Do roll, because it is a still a extended task here. It's only a difficulty of 1, though. So you're really just rolling to make sure you get a success and not a complication.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's not bad.
That's
Yeah,
some
that
momentum
actually
back.
gets you 2 momentum right back. And yeah, as long as you roll 5 work on this, so 6 challenge die. As long as you roll 5, you succeed at this extended task. You succeed at this extended task. So Jaro, you finish rebooting the fusion reactors. The lights aboard this vessel stop to flickering and go back to a full glow. And at this point, you think you have 1 shot on this railgun. Maybe 2, but definitely just... It's hard to say. I mean, you might get 2, but it's probably just going to be 1.
Jaro's going to go over and try to rig up the console to be able to shoot.
All right. So what I'm going to say is that there's actually going to be a complication here. You have to be the one to fire because there's just so much wrong with the console that you don't have time to explain it to Fives. Like, you have to be here to hold, like, wire A to wire B. But it's also something where you do need Fives here to push the button. So it's one of those things where, like, if you'll imagine, like, a long desk or a long table, you have to be at one end, Fives has to be at another, and you can't, like, use your leg up on the table to kick the button or anything. You have to be both working in concert.
Jaro's going... Jaro is like, we're getting ready, you 3, get in. And then he's going to pull Fives over to the side and turn off his communicator and say, we're going to have to close him in. It's going to take 2 people to fire.
Understood.
And after everybody gets in, Jaro's going to get up to the canister like he's going to get in, but instead close it.
Okay. So
Big
Prin,
damn
Alel,
heroes.
and
What?
Datig.
You just are gonna hear aspersions from Datig from the inside of the.
Alel's gonna bang on the door.
That's the cleanest word.
Yeah, there's gonna be a bunch of pounding from the inside of the
Mhm.
Yeah.
the capsule.
And then he's going to fire.
Okay. So,
He's going to turn on the communicator real quick and say, don't forget to remind them about tunneling.
There's only one person can do it one time.
Right. But that's fine.
And then I'm gonna. Datig will yell back. We're going to have a loud conversation, but in the meantime, don't forget you have grenades.
all right. Well, Fives, you're the one pushing the button on the firing control while Jaro holds wire A to wire B. So, Fives, this is probably one of the most important shots of your career. I would suggest doing it well. This is going to be a control security. This is going to be at a difficulty of 4. And what I would say is that Jaro can't assist you because he's literally doing his own thing to allow you to even fire in the first place.
Challenge of value, baby.
Yeah, I'd say this would be a very good time to challenge a value. This would be a good time, as Shizno, if he were here, he'd say, for the beans and just give me all the threat. This is a very important role. Also, I did just get a complication, so let's just go ahead and make that a difficulty 5 because I'm evil.
What?
Thank you, chat.
I hate you guys. No, but thanks for watching.
Geez, why do all my values have to be like all or nothing? Yeah, I will challenge a value. I will challenge the defining principle. The defining principle isn't always truth. Sometimes it's sacrifice.
All right, and how are you challenging that exactly?
I plan on staying. I mean, we're sacrificing ourselves for the 3 of them to get out.
And you did just deceive your commanding officer by way of, refusing to tell him the truth about the situation. So,
Yep. All right, so that's challenged. I've got. I will give you. Can I give you a momentum and 2 threat for 2 dice?
You can indeed.
Okay. And this is a railgun, so shipboard tactical systems.
Would apply.
For all the monies.
All right, that is literally 5 successes with your determination spend. So, good news. Prin, Datig, Alel, there's a buildup of static electricity around you as the railgun charges up. And then at quite a large amount of speed, you are fired out of the railgun towards the Kongo. Now, because somebody asked in chat, this is why the shell was actually malleable, or at least somewhat flexible. Because if you went 0 to 100 in a shell
Just
like that,
smear inside
you
the
would be
wall.
smeared. So the reason why it's malleable is so that it can deliver a payload without it needing to be strengthened. So Prin,
Commercial
Datig, and Alel...
dampening.
Yeah, so Prin, Datig, and Alel, you don't take any stress. I mean, obviously, you almost black out from the G-forces, but you are safely ejected towards the Kongo. So you guys are now off the board. However, Jaro, I need you to roll me a challenge dice here. If you roll an effect, the railgun has another shot in it. All right, the railgun is kaput, which means that the reactors are kaput, which means everything on the ship finally goes dark.
I'm going to grab 5s, and we're going to start running down the barrel with the transport enhancers.
I like how we think alike on this.
All right, so very important roll here as well as the spiders begin to close in from both sides. I need you both to roll me a fitness and a security at a difficulty of 3. And no, you may not assist one another on this, but I do need to see 3 successes from both of you.
You know what? I'm going to challenge a value.
Okay.
My value is the value I'm actually challenging is what would Jonna do, because Jonna would stay and try to collect samples and shit. So I'm not doing that. I'm just getting out of here.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I'll also give you a threat for an extra die.
All right, it would be 2 threat, but okay.
So we're rolling to run. Is that the case?
Uh-huh.
More or less, yes.
Infiltration needs an exit plan.
Fine, I'll give it to you. There you go. All right, so Jaro barely gets
Got
his
3.
3. Very important.
Remember, Dag, 62 no's and 1 yes means yes.
No!
Oh no.
So,
Oh no.
5.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Let's see what happens. Sometimes a botch makes a better story.
Maybe they don't like Borg.
So I think what
Just
happens,
eat around.
Jaro, is you get ahead of Fives, and I'm going to zoom out the map here so that you guys can kind of see cinematically what's happening. So you maybe get about halfway down the tube together, and Jaro, you get ahead of Fives, and the spiders are swarming up from behind. And Fives, maybe your foot gets caught on something, maybe your suit ends up getting snagged. Either way, you don't trip and fall, but you are stopped in your tracks. And Jaro, you look back. Do you say or do
Grenades!
anything?
Jaro's gonna toss a grenade.
Okay. This is going to be a control security difficulty of 2, but because you're in the narrow confines of a railgun, this is a difficulty of 3. And if you roll a complication, it's going to hit 5s, not the spiders.
I'm already setting this phaser to overload.
You're getting three threat for 2 dice.
Okay.
Aw.
Because we gotta protect our guy. And this is technically, small arms weapons technology.
Technically.
I just want to point out the interest that this whole session, this two-parter, began with Fives and Jaro doing target practice in the holodeck.
It's a nice bookend, isn't it?
Okay.
All right. Well, that's 2 successes. You need 3. So what I'll say is I'll let this succeed at cost, but the complication is you hit 5s as well.
All right.
So
I can take it.
Jaro, I need you to roll me 7 challenge dice, please.
Ooh, baby.
Take this, Fives.
5s, how much? You have 13. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. Jaro, you turn, you huck their grenades. They get about halfway between 5s and the spiders, and it detonates. And again, because of the confines of the railgun, the resulting explosion pushes both 5s and Jaro out of the way, out into open space. However, as 5s takes that damage, you immediately go unconscious from the shockwave. And as 5 slams into the back of Jaro, you hear the unmistakable sound of a helmet hissing, signifying that 5s is now not only unconscious, but he is no longer airtight.
He's an augment. He can handle this.
Jaro is
my
going to
gosh.
get some 100-mile-an-hour tape and just flop, put it on.
Well, as you do your best to fix Mr. Fives, we're actually going to now cut to the bridge where Alel and Datig are running up to the bridge to yell something at Lee. And Lee's probably also wondering why his ship just got shot at with the railgun. So have at it.
Ink.
Yeah, think.
Alel's definitely stumbling in, like still grabbing her like torn suit. She's like, "Sir."
Datig is just immediately going to run to his station and attempt to establish a pattern lock on Fives and Jaro.
All right.
And I will, if I, if you'd like, if I have to, I'm offering the option of using my determination to create an opportunity to make that possible without using the micro wormhole generator. Maybe it's just a coincidence that he arrives at the terminal as they're exiting the barrel and are out in open space.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I like it.
I like it too.
All right. So Datig, extremely important role for you. Let's break it down. Control engineering, difficulty 2. You're not doing this in a transporter room, so no help there. Your target is not on a transporter pad, difficulty 3.
We are carrying the transport enhancers.
Yeah, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
You have transporter enhancers, difficulty goes down to 2. You have advanced sensors on the Kongo, difficulty of 1. I have a bunch of threat. It's now a difficulty of 3. So, Difficulty 3, control engineering from Datig.
Okay.
The ship will assist you with a sensors engineering. And what I'm going to say here, so that you know what's at stake, if you succeed, you get Jaro and 5s, no problem. If you get 2 successes, you get 1 of them, no problem. If you fail completely, let's just say we'll have to talk offline because there might be character death on the table.
No, don't. Okay. All right. All right. Well,
What value are you challenging?
I am going to challenge a value. I'm going to challenge my value. Contrarian by nature.
Ooh.
They are my away team. They are my crew. I really only put that air on anyway. Was never actually genuine. So let's just drop the pretense.
All right.
And so I'll use that to get, those 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you've already dumped your threat, but can I give you more for an extra die?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
Can I give you more?
All right. So it's going to be engineering. So I'm going to, I'm going to give you as much threat as I need to. My brain right now is too frazzled.
So 5 threat is what you're saying.
I'll give you the 5. And would my 5s for fighting? We're fighting for 5s. And can I use maybe my focus in astrophysics?
Sure.
Thanks. Just you gotta
A
work
lot
with
of
me.
dice to roll for 1 success.
Mhm.
Oh,
All right, and hey, that's 5 successes. So if it matters, you do get 2 momentum back. And do you want to beat him to the transporter room, or do you want to just beam him right here to the bridge?
we're gonna beam him directly to the bridge.
All right, so appearing before you, Lee, in that sort of space between your chair and the consoles, is an unconscious 5s and a conscious Jaro.
And immediately Datig is gonna grab, if there's a medical kit around on the bridge, he's immediately going to see to them.
I love
What
the look
the
on Lee's
hell is
face.
going on here? Report, anyone who.
1 moment, sir.
Sir, we
And-
became trapped on the ship, injured, very hostile organisms. We were cornered and had to jettison ourselves. Jaro and 5s stayed behind to make sure we got here safely.
And you didn't think to communicate any of this to the bridge instead of running up here and spending 5 minutes through the turbolift system?
We were jettisoned out of a railgun, sir. I wasn't exactly fully. I didn't have all
I'm
my
spending
faculties.
that 5 threat you just gave me. That Rowan reports, sir, about that railgun. Is that? Hey, wait, team. Is that what you fought? That big scary lizard creature? And you
Yes.
see the view screen zoom in, and the railgun is now firing rapid succession things at you.
So I recommend scuttling this ship.
And Datig is just gonna look up at everyone. And go, evasive maneuvers.
The navigational deflector will handle that, don't worry.
Ooh.
Sir, with all due respect, these things have the ability to tear through solid uranium.
Ensign Rowan, evasive maneuvers.
Evasive maneuvers, aye. And, it's just railgun speed, so it's easily able to avoid. But as she sort of gets the ship moving, sir, it's starting to track us. Should I do anything more?
Head to tactical and disable that railgun system. Precision targeting, please.
So someone needs to pull up Rowan's sheet, because I'm not doing this roll. And she is rolling a control and a security, difficulty of 2. The ship will assist her with a weapons security. And if you want her to use photon torpedoes, that's going to be a difficulty of 3. If you want her to just use your phasers, that's a difficulty of 2.
Phasers.
Phasers would probably be good.
I
But
can
I'm
roll
not-
for
I'm-
this.
I'm not-
I
I'm
can
not
roll
rolling
for
that.
this ship.
I've got Rowan.
All
Okay,
right.
what's the ship rolling again?
Weapons and security.
And it would be difficulty 3 because I did order her to target the weapon systems, right?
That is true, and you don't have fast targeting, so it would be difficulty of 3. You do have 2 momentum that Rowan can use.
I would suggest using that, and hey, why not a threat too?
Yeah. Let's just go ahead and max that out for 4 dice.
All right.
And Rowan also has untapped potential, so we can get some momentum back from this.
Nice.
Maybe.
Okay. 4 plus shipboard tactical systems. There's a reason Fives is always chasing Rowan's tail.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there's your 2. Can the ship get you an assist? It looks like no. So, what happens is Rowan pushes the fire button, and everybody present on the bridge just sees the phaser completely off mark, just hit like the side of the vessel, not the railgun. And Rowan just sort of goes, okay, maybe this is a good time to admit I don't really know the tactical systems that well, sir.
Should have set it to
See.
self-destruct.
Captain, where is Mr. Fives' relief security officer?
I don't know. Shatalek should have been here on duty.
Jaro will take it and shoot the phasers.
All right, same roll.
Just
Ship helping.
Ship is again helping with weapon security.
Control. Security. I'll give you 1 threat for 1 die.
All right. Okay, hey, that's an assist
Oh,
from the
nice.
ship. That's 2 successes. All right. So you hit it. You hit the railgun, but I have 2 threat remaining. You disable the railgun, but you also disable the ship in such a way that all of you watch on the view screen as that ship literally explodes into tiny, tiny bits.
Alela's happy
Well-
enough to where she just kind of like slumps.
I hit the railgun, but I should have probably pointed out that the fusion generator was right behind the railgun.
That seems like a spectacularly ill-advised design choice.
Sorry, I honestly thought that the grenade was going to take out the railgun barrel. Sorry. And he just like shrinks down a little.
Captain,
Yes, Lieutenant Commander.
when I debrief you about the situation, I don't think you'll lament the loss of this vessel. It is remarkably dangerous.
Commander, I'm quite certain that I lament any unnecessary loss of life, whoever or whatever remained on that ship, and any of the technologies or information that might have been retrieved from it. Nonetheless, I may change that opinion in light of your reports. I look forward to hearing all of them. And get yourselves to sickbay, please, immediately, all of you.
Understood.
Jaro will carry Fives down.
Yeah, Dante will like take his legs if like Jaro takes his like
There you go.
Mr.
Jaro
Rowan,
case one to the
please
shoulders and
assist them.
on it, sir.
Alel just like reaches her arms up for Rowan to carry her.
No offense, Doc. You look like you can walk, so I'm
I
gonna
guess I could, but
listen. Have you ever had to punch Fives before? Dude's a brick. You gotta. We need like 3 people just to get him moving.
no, I haven't. Is there a line?
No.
Hmm.
in light of recent events, we're going to give him the next couple of days off as the ship's punching bag.
All right. Well, that's normally where we would end the session, but I did want to see because didn't you and Alel want to have a sidebar?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
at the 2-hour mark, so.
Okay. let's do that conversation next time. I think that'll wrap up. That'll be sort of our starting scene next time. That way it doesn't go to waste, so we still see that scene. It's just next time.
Okay.
All right.
All right. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's session. But before I do all the signing off stuff, I wanted to show you just what you guys were working with here. So let me zoom out for the sake of the stream. So this is the first deck you arrived on. Pretty standard stuff. You guys pretty much went up to the top there, checked out all of the lovely stations and whatnot up there. You found the elevator shaft, which was a way to get to the second floor, which was this, where you were just at. And the second floor, the original path through here was going to be that you were supposed to more or less go across the ship because it's a mirrored ship. You were supposed to kind of come down here and go through the other elevator shaft, which would have let you go to the third area. And then I know we never saw this map, but I'll show it anyway. The third area would have brought you to the bridge where you would have learned some more information about the ship and its, previous inhabitants. But in general, that's kind of the ship that you just escaped from.
And on a side note, I did say that Jaro downloaded a bunch of data from it.
You did indeed, and I did make a note of it.
And Alel has a little worm sample.
Mm-hmm.
You do indeed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Just all quarantine procedures, though.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be the cure.
So yeah,
She's
what did you guys
looking
think? I know that was a bit of a spooky / tactical episode, but did you guys like it? Did you hate it? What'd you think?
It was tense but amazing.
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a yellow shirt day, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Rightfully
Alel would
so.
say, "Hey, Print, you ever considered a job a career in security?"
Just Alel assigning departments to people like, you're now security, you're now medical, because apparently that's what Alel does.
I think Fives is gonna want to get to know how Prin just was like, you know what? Screw hesitancy with phasers, full spread. Did you fight in the Dominion War? What happened?
Counter-terrorism operations.
Right. Kill it till it's
It might not
dead.
be able to be used for anything, but it helps explain certain tendencies.
I'll find a way to make it work one day, I swear, but it's not in those instances. All right, well, YouTube, this is where we say goodbye, but Twitch, we're going to find something to raid, but YouTube, see you later. Bye-bye.